So welcome back, everybody. Really excited. Glad you're joining us today again with the Viking SupplyNet virtual trade show. And next up, we've got a guy that I spend a lot of time with at trade shows and normally in person. So we're a little bummed about that, but glad to have him on board, Mr. Jim McHugh with AGF. And welcome, my good friend.
Thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to this discussion. I'm really glad my father named the company AGF, so I can go first.
Yeah, there you go.
Presentations.
Right on, right on. So how long have AGF and Viking SupplyNet been partners, Jim?
We started out about the same time. We're one of the first vendors supplying products to Viking SupplyNet. We've had a long, very successful history with the Gross family, with Viking SupplyNet as it got going. Kind of as SupplyNet has grown around the world, they very graciously have carried AGF through the great efforts, like gentlemen like yourselves, carried it around the world for us. We appreciate it.
No, likewise, it's been a great partnership and one of the strongest for sure. Well, let's get down to brass tacks, man, and let's talk a little bit about business and the commitment that AGF has made to the fire protection industry. How would you characterize the way you guys address the industry and the needs of the industry, Jim?
I think if you look at our long history, we look at various installation and field condition issues, and we try and figure out what's a faster, better mousetrap. Can we take multiple components that are being put in the field, and can we figure out how to put them together into one piece? So just about, philosophically, everything my family makes, we've looked at something done in the field or something that's emerging with new code requirements, and then we figure out how can we combine 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. That's been our biggest issue. We're very, very proud of our domestic manufacturing. The majority of all AGF products are made here in the States. We're very, very, very proud of that. And I think that allows us a lot of flexibility in the fact that we can make products, we can tweak products, we can adjust to whatever the field conditions. If contractors come back and say, I wish somebody made this, well, damn, I want to be that guy who is the person who makes that for you.
And you guys have been that. You guys have been that. You listen to what's going on. You listen to us when we come back with some ideas, and that's always that I think that's one of the certainly the measures of a good partnership is hearing and talking at the same time, for sure. So tell us a little bit about those products, man. You want to share some things with us today?
So, I asked our marketing people, because again, they don't have a whole lot going on and they're sitting with their feet up in the pool, to put together a video that would hopefully just play in the background. So pardon me for the technology use here, but I thought, picture's 1,000 words, and you and I are in sales and we don't have to use 1,000 words. When a picture can just do some of it for it. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm hoping that's going to keep you and I playing and on. And I just thought I would show some of the new products that we make. One of the first things is we have a new website, agfmfg.com. So that's going to be one of the things. And then most people know us in the industry for the Model 1000 test and drain. It's been around for 30 plus years. I don't know that I'm always trying to find the guy in the world that doesn't know what a Model 1000 is, but yeah. It is your compact inspector's test valve. We've got a couple of new versions of the valve that have come out recently. And this is, as the market has changed to people utilizing more grooved fittings, our idea was, okay, well, let's make test and drains in the smaller sizes, 1 and 1 1/4 with groove.
Great.
Now, I always thought it was funny. People say, well, you just introduced groove. We actually offered groove by groove test and drains, our 2-inch product. We introduced that in 1996, except no one ever asked us for groove test and drains. We've always had them. We just needed somebody to ask us. And we don't do proprietary groove. We do the groove that actually Viking SupplyNet stocks. So this way people can attach to it. We make the versions with integral pressure relief valves. I think one of the issues, and I'm going to go into a little detail about it later, but relief valves are now mandatory on all systems. Another unique feature of our valves, and I try and talk, when I know I've got an audience of contractors that potentially could see this, I think one of the things that separates us from other companies is that our valves are field repairable. It's not like we're an company importing our products from China and moving it from factory to factory every day. these products were made by guys that hell had been sitting around my barbecue. The components that are inside a test and drain are easily replaceable and repairable. We give out the repair parts for free for our valves forever. So, I mean, my family stands behind our products. You can do any type of adjustment or repairs on our products very, very quickly. There's videos that, like this video now, they'll bore you to death of me talking on how to fix our products. Again, and any of the parts of today will fit all of the valves from yesterday. Of course, we carry all the various industry approvals, and I talked about being domestically made. And as you can see, this thing's going to jump around a little bit. I think one of the other areas with test and drain is we get into making floor control assemblies and riser packs. And we do this in partnership with Viking. Viking has the Easy Pack and AGF has the riser pack. And the idea in this whole product line was to give a 13D, 13R, and 13 commercial pre-made risers. So SupplyNet would have a solution for the residential contractor doing a simple home, to the multifamily contractor doing a townhome, all the way up to the commercial guy doing a big job. And we wanted to make it in a variety of formats. So we don't make just one manifold and then we shove it down your throat and make it work. The one on the screen now is one of the newest ones, and this was designed specifically by a contractor out in Seattle. He came to us and he had an issue that they needed to get a riser into the exact tight corner of a stairwell because of the cane sweep rules, the ADA cane sweep. So he said, could you make me a 90-degree perpendicular pre-assembled riser? So we made what we call corner mount or corner riser. And this will allow you to tuck it into either the horizontal or vertical corner, depending upon how you want to orient the unit. These are available in up through 6-inch. But it is probably the most space-saving manifold that's out there on the market that you can still get complete access to all of its components. That was the critical nature of it.
Fantastic.
We make these units in a controlled environment. Every manifold we make, as you can see, they're handmade. They're made on test machines. So besides this being a clamping device, they're actually, once they're through the components of assembly, every manifold we make in every configuration, and at last count, there was 168 variations of our manifolds. Every unit is then pressure tested so that we know before it goes into packaging that it's going out of our facility, pressure tight. Here's kind of a product that we, when we were making manifolds and we were seeing ones in the field, it was I noticed that every once in a while we'd end up with a 3-way gauge valve aimed backwards. And it just shows kind of our commitment to the market. And we'd hear contractors say, well, that looks bad. So we actually re-engineered the 3-way valve to be a more universal design so that the handle is always either vertically down or facing you. So it basically, although this is an incredibly simple product, we thought it doesn't have to be bad looking. We can make this into a high pressure, more universal product design. Simple product, but controlling our own manufacturing destiny, we can do stuff like that. And these are available across all of our different riser pack product lines in that configuration. And from riser pack, where if AGF went from the test and drains to the riser packs, we started to get into corrosion monitoring, corrosion detection. What causes corrosion? How do we tell there's corrosion? So we introduced the Core Insight, and this is a simple sight glass you put onto a system that will change to bright orange if you have corrosion problems on the system. It's a hollow steel plug. And when I say hollow, literally, we machine down the outside of the unit to be 1/3 the thickness of Schedule 10 pipe. And when you install it on a system, on the sidewall of a system, that's the critical nature of it. So it will, the area that's in the system, when that area corrodes, it releases air or water pressure that's in it, and it'll change the sight glass on the outside to tell you you are about to get pinhole leaks on your system. In discussions with the pipe manufacturers, they said if you can catch the pipe while it's just beginning corrosion, if you can catch it in the first 1/3 of its wall thickness, you can salvage that pipe. Anything past that, you're going to have to replace the pipe. So that was the idea of giving a very inexpensive, cost-efficient way for somebody to tell if there's going to be a problem on the pipe. You don't need them all over the place. You know, we typically want to have one near the inbound water supply to the building to check the condition of the water, and then in a few places around the system. And right out of the gate, they're marked with AGF on them. But we try and tell everybody, I have no real reason to promote AGF to the industry, so we will put the contractor's name, phone number, and address on all of the plugs for them. And then probably our biggest product launch in the last few years has been a complete line of air vents for the industry. And with these, we listened to what contractors were talking about when it came to corrosion-related problems, and then air vent code in 2016 was added. And instead of us introducing one air vent and kind of, again, jamming it down the throat, telling everybody to make it work, and it didn't need to be these big complicated air vents. Our idea was, let's just make a simple ball valve with a check in it. Let's make a really inexpensive air vent. If somebody wants an automatic air vent, let's make the best automatic air vent purpose-built for the sprinkler industry, an air vent that will not leak. So instead of me trying to accommodate leaking by maybe adding redundancy or other stuff that code doesn't even require, why don't we just make an air vent that doesn't leak? So first, use a high quality valve to isolate it. Second, use a barrel strainer. Third, give the contractor a way to clean the strainer. Put a garden hose cap and chain product on it. And then the air vent mechanism itself should be of the highest quality. We had a contractor out on the West Coast tell me, look, we love your automatic air vents. They work great, but we need them to be super compact. So the idea was, we'll pre-assemble it onto an end cap for you to make the whole process simpler. This gets the installed height down to 4 7/8 inches. This was very critical for the contractors doing, ESFR jobs. Far and away, the smallest air vent, the least expensive air vent on the market, was our goal to provide. And then our 7950 inline vent, again, this was designed in conjunction with a contractor saying, look, I'm not sure where I want to put this air vent. I want my guys in the field to have flexibility so that they can put it in line. They don't have to put it at the end of line. They don't, I want them to have complete installation flexibility. So we made an inline vent that just needs a groove coupling, 2 groove couplings, or a groove coupling and an end cap if you want to put it at the end. So I think it's indicative of products like this that we address the physical demands of what contractors are required, but at the same time, we're trying to be code compliant with what code is requiring. I think that's a big issue. So that we're giving the best quality products, to the market. This one allows for some flexibility of installation. It can be actually turned on its side, but a note of caution, I always tell people air vents have to be vertical. It doesn't matter if it's mine or anybody. They have a float mechanism and they need to be installed vertically. But that's our purge and vent product line. That's one of the largest we've got. And then one that Viking's had great success with is our collect and drain product line. This is a complete family of products that are designed to tell people if they have accumulated any water in the sprinkler system. So it could be as simple as just a pre-made low point drain like you'd have on any fire sprinkler system. It could be an anti-tamper device because people, especially drunk people, seem to want to turn valve handles. So we make a really simple plate here. The plate activates by the top valve handle holds the plate down against the bottom valve handle, so you don't have false activation. It's the whole goal there. And then one of the other things, and again, these were all coming out of contractors talking to us, giving us like some good ideas, make them lockable, make them serviceable. One of the main things contractors said is, why don't you just make them heated? So let's just make, if we can't put them in a heated environment, let's just bring the heated environment to the low point drain. So depending upon the condition you have, if you're the Freedom Tower in New York, you're the military, you're the Park Service, we sell these all over the world, these pre-assembled heated low point drains. And they'll chirp and blink locally to tell you they're full of water. They'll wait till they're 85% full, and then they will need to be drained. But this way, it's one of the biggest service and repair items on dry systems are these low point drains. And then lastly, one of the version that came up the most was the 5100, and that one would tell you when it needed to be drained. So this is one of our newest employees. This is Testy McSprinkles. So as you can see, and Adam's doing his best not to laugh in the background. I appreciate that. I've challenged our marketing people to start to work on some new marketing material, and this is so far the best they've been coming up with. But Testy joined us just a couple of years ago, and he's going to be our new mascot for all things. So since I can't travel, Testy will be traveling, and Testy shares my love of drinking. So, this shows our training facility that we share with General Air Products. They've got an amazing facility just outside Philadelphia. It seats a little over 45, 50 people. And in it, we've got all of the AGF products, all of the General Air products, and a complete line of the Viking manufactured products of alarm valves, dry and wet valves, as well as a complete selection of Viking heads. Then we use this facility to train people all over the country in half-day, full-day, and multi-day training programs. We have them both available online as well as at this facility. And we've probably had 150 training sessions in over the last year and a half since we've opened it. So that's the AGF propaganda video. And I don't. This isn't really a forum for questions, but hopefully I've covered everything everyone wants to see.
I think we will have some space for some chat room questions that come across. So I'm sure you just generated quite a bit, Jim. I mean, in true fashion, there's no doubt you just explained and showed why we would partner with such a strong effort that you bring to the table for code compliance and certainly industry addressment in the field for the field guys and gals that are out there working. And again, you guys are an installers company, man, and we love that. And obviously, while we've chosen to partner for as long as we have, man, I really appreciate you taking time to bring these products to light, and I'm certain that it's going to generate some questions from our field today, man. So thanks a lot for joining us and kicking this virtual trade show off.
I appreciate it, and it goes without saying, Adam, everything that Viking Corp and Viking SupplyNet do for my family company, it's a really special. I agree with you. It's a special relationship. It's a 30-something year relationship. I cut my teeth traveling with the generation of Viking guys when I was in my teenage years, and now I'm one of the old guys going out. And when I've traveled with some of the Viking SupplyNet guys recently, they were like, "Oh, you got to go to bed too early," and I'm like, "Wow, I can remember when that was me." So these are good times. Now
we certainly appreciate you doing that, and you're certainly one of the few that we like to load up in the car and make our jaunts with, man. You're always, again, a great partner and a great friend, buddy. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for this opportunity. Talk to you later.
Everyone else, we will see you soon with another exciting visit with a vendor partner. Thank you.
Thank you.